Come here, let me talk to you. Show you something that you probably seen before, but you never seen it like this. Physically fit, smoking that shit you can't get. If it don't make dollars, damn well it don't make sense. Got my crib out in Cali, buy everything for my kid. You hear me talk about it, fucking right, it's what I live. Lean back, hit the chronic. She like, why it's so intense? I say, don't worry about it. Keep your mind up on these chips. And these niggas out plotting. They broke, so they got something against us. Pot, we smoke it anywhere.
Yeah. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Chec Box. Really quick, that was No Dirt by Wiz Khalifa, man. Shout out my guy Wiz Khalifa. Gentlemen, what's going on? Third episode.
Yo, what up?
Chilling, bro.
This is great.
We are here, okay? Been getting nothing but positive feedback from the first two episodes. We actually released episode 2 earlier today, gentlemen.
Yeah.
How do we feel?
Dude, we feel really good, man.
This is
the
amazing.
The comments have been really good.
Yes.
And I'm loving the topics that are going to be, that people actually want to talk about.
Yeah. Right.
I'm loving that we're actually getting prompts. You know,
Yes.
I mean, we come up with good stuff, but to be honest, we want to make it
better.
It gets more exciting every week. It's more
it does,
exciting
it
every
does.
week.
Absolutely.
No exception this week.
Absolutely not. Quick shout out to Gun Hill Brewery. We're all here sipping a brew from
Yeah, this
them.
thing is amazing. What's it
Delicious.
called?
It's called Oops a Hazy.
Yeah, Oops a Hazy. Yeah,
It's a hazy pale ale, okay, 5.5% alcohol. You know what I mean?
I don't speak beer, but this is amazing.
You know what I
Dude,
mean? It's
dude.
a solid IPA.
This is real beer, man. No Coronas up in this bitch, bro.
Nah,
Come
none
on.
of that.
We don't
Come
do
on,
that.
I like Coronas.
None of that, none of that.
Chill, why are you
that's
trying
some
to play
pussy shit.
Coronas?
Dude, that's some pussy shit, bro.
Trying to play Coronas, not
Dude,
that
that's
base.
bullshit.
You heard it
bugging.
here first.
Nah, wait,
Bro.
Staying true. I dare you to disrespect Presidente. Yo, boy.
Dude, I mean,
Presidente is where it's at. Don't disrespect the classic, man.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, man.
Pasate.
I like Heineken. I like Modelo. I'm not really a fan of President.
nah,
I
it's too
mean-
light for me, bro. That's some bitch.
Yeah, McCann.
Alec is he's a taste master.
Yeah.
so
I am.
he don't count.
I am. I like that robust. You know that.
Nah,
that
nah,
strong
remember
shit.
you-
Man of
Wait,
refined
real
taste.
quick, same modelo, negro modelo.
Yeah.
Negra,
Fire.
modelo negra.
Negra.
Yes.
Negra, I
Negra,
thought it was
it's
negro.
negro.
Nah, negra.
I mean negra.
Negra, fire.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Mhm.
Especial's
Whatever the
pretty
fuck.
good too, though. Especial's pretty
Yeah, it's
good.
that light shit, but it's
Nah, I like the dog shit. I like the
That
dog
shit,
shit.
that
fuck
shit's
it, fuck it.
All right, guys. So check it out. We've been getting a ton of feedback from episode 1 when HP here went on a little tangent about his extreme dislike for astrology.
Yeah, a little crazy,
Extreme
yeah.
is a little extreme.
Nah,
extreme
It's
is an
extreme.
understatement,
Qualify
my
that as
friend.
extreme.
No, listen. If any of you haven't heard it, go back to episode 1 where we speak about DNA sampling and the 7 laws of attraction,
Yeah.
and you'll hear HP
Shameless plug.
be very emotional.
Yeah,
rather.
he caught some feels, man.
Yeah.
Still
Mad feeling.
gassing it.
HP, what do you got for us, man? So
Listen.
reiterate what you said in episode 1, and then
All right.
suppose you got the answer.
Explain
Basically,
yourself.
all right. I'm not gonna lie. In my previous, the previous times astrology's come up, you know what I'm saying, I've been a little animated. I wouldn't
That's
say
one way to put it.
emotional.
That's a good word.
Okay.
That's a great word.
a great way to
And
put it.
and so I mean I can't really reiterate it. Basically, I was just saying, listen, the shit is bullshit.
Okay.
It's false. Fuck it, right?
Wow.
So, all right. So I'm gonna address that today. All right. So now, saying that, I will say this. So I was thinking about it today. I was like, wow, you know what? I should probably take a step back because people actually believe in this stuff.
A lot
right?
of people
People
believe
look into this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not. So I thought off the bat, boom. I didn't realize. First of all, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. People fuck with what they want to fuck with. People believe what, you know what I'm saying? You look to what you want to look to, right? So I'm going to get that across. You know, I wasn't trying to violate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just something that at the time I was like, all right, this is common sense. This is fucking, it's like, you know what I'm saying? This is obvious.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not common sense. It's not obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Common sense is not common, brother.
Exactly. But not even that. It might not be true to me, but this might hold some truth to other people. And as we look at Kenneth and nod to his comment that common sense is not common, which is true.
It is.
Absolutely.
You know, but Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just because astrology is not the truth to me, is not my truth, doesn't mean it might not be somebody else's truth.
Right.
You know? And it might work for some people, right? So now that has been said, let's get into it.
Yes.
Right? And I would just, all right, so we're going to just start with the definition of astrology.
Yes, please. That's actually, make that clear.
We're going to start,
Credit
all
your
right,
source.
per Google. All right, so you know how you put in shit in Google
that's
and
not
off the
Google,
bat, it
actually.
just gives you like the first
Or
one to pop
is
up
it-
is the most popular.
Is it Webster, Merriam? I mean,
No, yo, let me do my thing, all right?
Okay, do your thing.
All right, per Google, right? This is the first thing that just pops up. Astrology, the study of the movements and relative positions of celestial bodies interpreted as having an influence on human affairs and the natural world.
Keyword.
That's per Google, okay?
Okay.
Now let's go to fucking Merriam-Webster.
Okay.
All right, over here, Kenneth. You
Yeah.
happy? All
I
right.
am happy now. Yeah.
Per Merriam-Webster, astrology, noun, the study that assumes and attempts to interpret the influence of the heavenly bodies on human affairs.
Fair.
No need to repeat because I was gonna say this at the end, but I'll just say it now. I'm gonna provide sources, links, and all that you guys need. Later on after the show, you can check it out on the descriptions, YouTube videos. I don't think you can see it on SoundCloud. I don't think we could put links and shit on SoundCloud. and shit.
Probably
we
get
probably
some.
can.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll figure it
figure
out. Eventually, you know, saying Apple Music or Pocket, whatever. Anyway,
Long as they follow
Right.
the Instagram page as well.
yes.
Do
All
that.
right. So another thing. So that's that. So now we get a little deeper into it, right? So the zodiac signs are determined by the constellation that the sun is in on the day of your birth,
Okay.
right? And let me just, I'm on my, I got these links on my phone, so you know I gotta switch slowly between the tabs here.
We'll switch faster.
Shut your mouth. Wait. Right here. Okay. So
This guy got like fucking 50 tabs.
Yeah,
open.
wait,
Hide the
whoa.
porn
Because-
tabs.
wait.
Listen.
Okay, no, yeah,
Try to
yeah.
scroll past the
All right.
form tabs. Dumb quick.
XNXX.
Yeah, none of that, none of that.
Brazzers.
I have a contract with one website.
It's too expensive, bro.
Bang Bros
All
is the goat. Bro.
All right, so it was determined by the constellation the sun is in on the day you were born, right? So that's that, and keep that in mind, by the way. And so these, so the 12 signs were grouped according to classical elements. These 12 zodiac signs,
Okay.
and the elements represent certain personality traits that are used with in conjunction with star signs, as well as the position of the sun, moon, and known planets at the time. That's how a horoscope is determined,
Okay.
right? Keep in mind, now going back to that sign, that the zodiac signs are determined by the constellation that the sun is in on the day you were born. Remember that. Because there's a little something called precession, right? Precession is like a little wobble, right? So the Earth continually wobbles around its axis in a 25,800 year cycle, right? This is precession,
Jesus.
which basically means
5,000 years.
what that means is that all the zodiac signs and the months that you're supposedly based off of have slipped about 1/10, basically about a whole month.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so what does that mean?
So yeah,
then?
what does that mean?
So basically that means
They
All
weren't.
right,
They
wait,
weren't
wait.
the same signs.
All right.
They were that. You know.
check what
Thousands of
when's your
years ago.
birthday?
Got it.
My birthday's August 6th.
August
So
6th.
I'm a Leo.
Okay. You're a Leo, right? So Leo's, according to what astrology says, is July 23rd to August 22nd, right? If you go by the position that they're actually in now, you are actually a Cancer
No shit.
Get him out of here.
because
They got a tag.
if you go by the position now, if you go by the current positions, a Leo would be from August 10th to September 16th.
That's absurd. I have
And you'd be a Cancer because Cancer would be July 20th to August 10th.
never a
Right.
day.
Now, I'm a Cancer. I'm July
Me too.
12th. I'd be a fucking Gemini.
June
So we're all
24th.
like shifted backwards.
back.
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
We're all shifted backwards
That's
in
interesting.
reality, right? Because the procession.
I've actually heard this
happen.
before too. I mean,
I've never
back
heard
when
this.
with the new sign,
Take
what
me
was it
out.
like 2 years ago?
Oh,
or
yeah.
something?
So there's a 13th
was
constellation that astrology does even fucking
Take into
acknowledge.
account.
I forgot. It's like Syphilis, some bullshit like something with an O.
It was there. It was actually there in that list.
Oh yeah. Actually, wait. Let me see. Oh yeah.
Check it out.
Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus.
Ophiuchus.
Ophiuchus.
Some
Ophiuchus.
bullshit.
Ophiuchus.
All right.
And
Sounds
so
some
like
type of
that one
medicine.
coming in actually kind of bumped everyone back.
Well, not even
Kinda
that. Not
thing,
even that it
no?
came. They've
No?
always known about it.
Okay.
For some
All right.
reason, that I didn't even, because you know what I'm saying.
Probably
Like I
'cause
said,
it's
I
hard to
acknowledge that
pronounce.
people actually looked at shit, whatever. Apparently, astrologers have always known about this 13th thing.
you
Why
try
it's been
pronouncing
using
that
that, I don't
shit.
know.
I mean, I wouldn't
fuck
include
it.
it either.
That's probably why.
The fuck?
You know, but fuck it. You feel me? That's just interesting. So yeah, and that's that. That's what I have for you guys today. Like I said, I'll be providing a lot of sources, a lot of information. After this podcast, you guys can check it out. Anyone that's interested, anyone, you know what I'm saying, and if anybody has any rebuttals,
Dude, and you
refuse
know-
anything, just let us know. Instagram, comment, fucking.
Yeah. And if it's
hit us
working
up
for you,
somehow,
dude, if
you
it's
know?
working for you, man, just keep going. Just
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to listen to us, but to be honest,
I don't-
we like shit as it is. Keep it
Or,
simple.
or we just like, maybe a lot of people believe in astrology. They didn't have, this is brand new what I've been saying just now. You know what I'm saying? That's also the thing. You know, I'm just trying to make you sure that you've thought about the whole circle. You know what I'm saying? You look at the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? To really come to a decision.
Nah,
You feel me?
Nah, I feel you, bro. Absolutely, and I appreciate that. I actually didn't know regarding the whole sun on a balance and shit. I mean, Earth, the 25,000 shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The
That's actually
procession
wild.
and all that.
Right.
And there you have it, guys. That was HP's response to his astrological remark in episode 1. For those who aren't aware of what he said, please refer back to episode 1 where we speak on DNA sampling and the 7 laws of attraction. HP had a very animated / colorful response when astrology and the belief of it was brought up. With that being said, I'm almost positive there's a bunch of listeners out there who agree and who disagree, and we want to know who and why. So please don't be afraid to send your rebuttal. If you want to violate him, you can violate him. All right, we all know how to handle constructive criticism. We are big boys here. Okay, and with that being said, I'm going to take you guys to our first music break. Enjoy this track. This is Palm Trees by Flatbush Zombies.
So much grams, unzip the bag, dip in my hand, then I palm trees. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. So much grams, unzip the bag, dip in my hand, then I palm trees. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. On the road to the riches, money sticking to my cleats. I am my many feet, skin noir, darky meat. Niggas with the most opinions usually have the least. It's funny how now rappers be on they druggy shit. Downloaded my.
Hey, yeah. That was Flatbush Zombies with Palm Trees.
Might be
Shout
my
out
favorite intro.
Flatbush Zombies. Yeah, that's a fire segue right there. I really enjoyed that. Alrighty, guys, we're moving on, though. Let me introduce to you our special guest for today. Okay, this is Dora. Dora, what's going on?
What's going on?
Word. Welcome to the podcast. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you, man.
Feel me? Quick intro about Dora. Born and raised in Spanish Harlem. You feel me? Professional dancer over here. Dance with names such as Janet Jackson, Cardi B, dancing venues, MSG, Barclays. She's all about
To name
it.
a few.
All about it. Dora, tell us a little more about yourself, though. What's up?
Oh my gosh, it sounds so good when you say like Cardi B, Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful for that because that tops my career right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you know, I'm a professional dancer. I've been doing that since I was 5 years old.
No big deal.
It really started like blooming for me around like 19, 20 years old. I'm 25 now and I feel like I really like where I am. But, you know, besides being a professional dancer, I really want to get into like film.
Okay.
You know, I want to be.
Don't be an actor.
I want to. I would love to.
Actress, yeah, sorry.
I would love to, you know, act, but I don't feel like that's for me. I feel like some people have that, but I don't know. I don't think it's for me. I actually wanted to be a director.
Oh,
You know,
She has pretty good. Yeah, she has very good like vision. Like you know, we had a couple conversations, and you know, we talked dance a lot. You know, because that's a big part of her life and stuff. And she has like these visions for like these like videos and stuff. And I'd love to see that.
Oh my
like,
god!
Yeah, that'd be
You guys,
awesome.
I'm so
That's
excited to put that on film. Like,
Yeah.
it is something that I'm so passionate about, and
Yeah.
I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Besides dance,
if you feel like that, I
you
mean,
know,
that's the best thing you can do if you feel like that.
Like
Definitely.
dancing is fun, but I have to have like a plan B. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? Like,
Not
I
even
think
a plan B, but
yeah.
just mesh it.
It's a
You know
part
what
of
I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah,
You can
it's a
add
part of
to
that,
it. You know what I'm
for
saying?
For sure.
There's a lot
Expand
of
your
things.
horizons,
Yeah.
you know.
Everything can be brought together, and if it's never been done before, then you bring it in. You know what I'm saying? Into
Yeah,
life.
you-
That's all it's about.
Being an innovator.
I'm a big thing about, you know, I have a big thing in my life where I like to take things that, so for example, I'm into my science, but I love art as well.
Yes,
and I
same
like to,
here.
And,
Same
I,
here.
and I love to
For sure. I
bring
think we
those
all
two
do.
things together. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why they have to be
Yeah.
distinct boundaries. They might be taught to you
Completely
in
agree.
distinct, you know, kind of like sections or like kind of like distinct categories, but those categories are all man-made. You know what I'm saying? Like they could literally be blurred. And when you blur those lines, that's when true art is made.
Absolutely.
And I feel like
Absolutely.
I feel like that's where you're on the road to. I mean, you know, I've seen your work and it's amazing, and I just
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hope I really wish you the best in your future. For sure.
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
thank
I think that
you.
comes from around the table as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty dope. I mean, I told you earlier, I actually had the pleasure of interviewing Cardi B through my internship at Fox 5. And when I did
Oh
that,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's on video too.
It is
If
so
you want to go on
We gotta
YouTube
bring
and find
This is
that.
actually funny.
The link will be in the description.
yeah. So, you know, I feel you when you say like that was sort of like the peak of like your career right now. You know what I'm saying? It's actually fire. And talking about careers, and we was actually talking about school and everything, that actually leads up to what we were speaking about today, and that's college.
Yeah, college.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Another thing, too, I was thinking our last episode was relationships, and I also thought about this too. We met all of our exes in college.
This is true.
All our recent exes.
All of
Yeah.
our recent- that's
wow. That's a little
You gotta
insane.
laugh on that. It
Wow.
is,
I mean,
it is.
I mean, you know, we talked about. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of things that we could have talked about. You know, regarding that. We can totally do another episode on that.
I think it's necessary.
Part two is
seriously,
definitely
it needs to be
necessary,
done because there
yeah.
was so much that was
So
left
important.
out, and not bullshitting at all. I mean, not talking shit at all. You
Yeah.
know, it was really a learning experience for all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
as men
Yeah.
going through this together, going through it together was probably one of the most impactful things. I mean, if we didn't have each other going
Yeah.
through this,
Yeah.
it would have been a lot harder.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, to have like you know, a group of men that are going through the same thing and, you know,
Trying to handle it the best you can.
right.
I would say.
Wait, so you guys went to college together?
yeah,
Well, these
so-
three did.
The same college?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you want to. We can start like introing that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can start on that. I mean, I'll start off. So I know Kenneth. Also, for you guys, listeners out there, you guys don't even know how we're connected. So it's actually pretty good that you bring this up.
Right.
So, Kenneth has been, one of my best friends since the 7th grade.
Yeah.
We attended Mount St. Michael.
Going on 12 years now.
Junior high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a decade of friendship with this guy right
Yes,
here, man.
sir.
Wow.
Yes,
Much
sir.
love, word. And then I met Honorio and Alec through college.
Right.
Look at my whole government out there.
I think that's the first time that his name has been uttered in totality.
That's the very first time.
It was
Looking
so
out the
cute.
HP kind of.
I love. So
It's
I,
romantic.
I lived with HP. I've known HP since his freshman year through baseball. And then I met Alec my freshman year actually just through mutual friends.
Do you remember that time, dude? I'm trying to think the actual moment when we met.
Where we met.
I can't.
I feel like it was
place
on a
a
day of
finger.
Springfest. You were with Yolanda, and that's when Jocelyn and Amber started to get
Wow,
close.
was that? Oh,
Yeah, it was-
those time.
Which we're gonna
Jeez.
touch on, which is actually fucking hilarious.
I remember when me and Chec met.
Oh,
like
shit.
yesterday.
Yo.
My freshman year of college, I was chilling. I remember Amanda.
Amanda Ortiz.
Shout out,
Oh,
no,
Morenzi. Oh, Morenzi.
Shout out Amanda.
Well, shout out
Trio.
So she was like, "Yo, come meet Chec Orno because you was playing baseball at the time and shit." So we went and we met up. We were all chilling under a fountain. It was like a building where like the business and nursing classes are held. We were like under. It was
The
saying, it's at
stairs.
nighttime. Yeah, under the stairs, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like sipping and
Was
shit.
this the library? Under the stairs of the library?
No, the founders.
Oh,
founders.
founders.
Yeah.
Founders.
So yeah,
Oh,
we were all chilling
yes,
there.
yes,
It was like my first week there. I'm a freshman, so you know what I'm saying. We're all like drinking and shit down there. I met Pacheco, and I actually went to school with his fucking. Basically, his little brother.
Word, Jeremy.
And, yeah,
who
we went
should
to
be
high school
here.
together.
All swallows.
Dude, Jeremy. I remember that day on my first week as a freshman in college.
Yeah, man, that shit is dope, bro, and I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that actually brings up, you know, one of our first thoughts, bro. Like, it's college for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
That was a pretty quick response there, bro.
It was
I
a
feel
quick
that was-
response.
you know,
You see how we all are holding on that one.
yeah, you know, I mean, no, because I mean, it's for me, there's a simple answer and there's a more complex answer. For the simple answer, you know, no, it's not for everyone.
Yep.
You know, because
Okay.
people have different paths. You know, not everyone's path is laid out, and you know, we'll discuss that a little bit right now. But you know, a brief, complex answer, right, is basically there are so many ways to go about living your life. There's so many ways to generate money and
Yes.
live in this world, right? I mean, obviously now, you know, searching for a job, you know, a lot of the requirements do, you know, have to do with degrees,
A degree,
right?
yeah.
But that really is just a collection of jobs that are out there, really a collection of ways to generate money. So to be honest, there are so many ways, like starting your own business, for
Yes.
example, you know,
which everyone I think can do and
yeah,
should do.
anyone can do it, yeah, and a lot of people think they, yeah.
Well, also too, like another thing too is like school in general, depending on a lot of things, doesn't really prepare you for stuff like
No.
that. You know, what
It
I'm saying?
doesn't.
No.
Or even
Yeah.
so I mean, I was a business major. You know what I'm saying? I was accounting
Right.
major. I mean, like I definitely got a lot of gist of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tax class that I was taking too, all that stuff. But did you guys take any of that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys
No,
weren't.
I
You guys
didn't.
weren't.
I
You know what I'm
didn't.
saying? And
I
you
didn't.
didn't. Why? You guys need that knowledge as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
You get what I'm
We
saying?
should all have
Just stuff
financial
that.
And
education.
that leads into what I was gonna mention. It's like you specifically, Anara, you got a what I would consider a professional degree.
Okay.
So you got a degree that literally teaches you skills relevant to the workforce
Yeah.
versus someone who's an English major. I mean, not to shit on English majors, but like a history major. Oh, okay, English majors actually taught valuable skills. Like knowing English is a pretty valuable
Yeah,
skill.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
gonna lie to you.
No shade, no shade.
No, yeah, no shit at all. But like someone like a history major who, you know, all you know is facts. You know, what do you know? What? How can you generate money in the workforce?
I mean,
how can you prove your value?
Well,
in the
not
workforce?
even that. Just knowing like simple. Like a lot of people don't even know how to go about doing their own taxes.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to know.
It's a
but, like,
life skill.
The simple
To be
things, you know,
honest.
like
Yeah,
the
life
simplest
skills.
things. You know,
Right.
like filling out the first couple pages or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, whatever.
I
it
learned
may
that in
be.
high school. Actually, that's
Yeah,
the only thing I
I'm
remember from high
embarrassed to
school.
not know about
Yeah.
doing that.
A lot of
you know?
stuff. Yeah, a lot of different things.
I feel you. I definitely feel you. So then, do you think that during high school, people see these examples of what we're talking about, and then that sort of leads them to like not want to go to college because they see people, and then that's where they come up with the thing like, nah, college ain't for me because they're chasing what they're seeing compared to what they actually want to do. Like, Dora, what do you got on that? Like, what do you think?
That's okay. It's pretty interesting. I just feel like, for me, I know I could have went to college. I mean, I still want to go to college.
Oh, actually, did you say this? I don't think her and Kenneth said their situation.
Oh yeah, we did.
What?
They so all right, me, so Chec, Alec, and I all went to the same college, and we all completed our undergraduate. We all
Yes.
graduated. Kenneth, so
Congrats.
explain your path.
Congrats! I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So, can you two both kind of? You can
Ken,
start
what's your
with-
situation
yeah.
right now, bro?
So I don't mean to cut you off, Dora, but
It's okay. It's okay. Trust
Yeah,
me.
so like I did 1 year at University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
This was in 2013 to the 2014 year, and then after that I dropped out, and then I re-enrolled for the 15-16 year. So I'm finishing in my my last year basically. This is my last year of school.
Awesome.
Hopefully forever. But yeah, Dora, what about you?
Yeah, so I did not go to college, you guys, and I'm actually inspired that you guys went to college. That's amazing. It's not easy. You know what I mean? I've heard people that applied and they didn't get in, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was fortunate enough at the time, like a few years ago, I applied to a few colleges and they accepted me. And at the same exact time, I got this phone call, and they're just like, "Hey, Dora, do you want to come on tour with Azealia Banks?"
Wow. That was it, man.
Let me tell you guys.
Holy
She
shit.
must have been a trip because I know she is a very controversial figure.
Yeah, but she's a phenomenal person.
Yeah,
like, just to get to know.
And an artist, too.
You guys, like, Azealia Banks.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful person, you guys.
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy. That's actually dope. And how was that for you? Like dancing
It was amazing.
overseas and shit.
It was
Where did you like?
Yeah, where'd you go
did
outside overseas?
Oh my gosh, you guys.
where did you tour at?
Okay, so we
About
went to Japan.
Oof.
We went to Indonesia.
My
We
sister
went
just
to
went to Japan,
Russia.
too.
We went to Portugal. We went to Spain. And the list,
shit.
I'm telling you guys, the list goes on. Like, I'm so thankful for her and what she did for me and the dancers and the choreographer, Matthew Pastorisa, you know, for putting me on, you guys. Like,
And it really launched your career, right?
oh my goodness, it launched my career, but it was also like the experience to travel, you guys.
And
Like,
what an amazing like timing, also. You know what I'm saying?
it
Like,
was
because
amazing.
Because imagine if you were to decide, for example, like, and this is a big part of what we're talking about here. There's just the timing of things is just so it's so critical, right?
Yeah,
So
you know?
so I mean, imagine if you were to say, hey, listen, I wanted to go to college, right?
Where would I be right now?
Where would you be right now?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So and this is something that I want everyone to think about. I mean, we've all been in places where we expect to be, right? We have these expectations of us, right? Whether it be going to college or achieving a certain goal, and sometimes it doesn't happen for us, and sometimes we're really hard on ourselves about it. But really, just take a retrospect. Just think retrospectively and understand that if you're happy right now, it's because of all those
You're the
little
Right,
little
right,
failures.
right,
It's a
right,
sum of
right.
all those decisions and failures and stuff like that. So it's really not the end of the world. So I think that's a major thing to think about.
Yeah, you want to know something? Like, so at the time, this was about 5 years ago now. At the time, I had a job where I was working 6 a.m. to like 4 p.m. And then I literally dedicated myself. I was like 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. I rocked out doubles, you guys. At the time, I was not dancing. And so when I got accepted into college, I was like, well, maybe this could change things around for my schedule,
Type shit.
But then when I got called for the tour, I was just like, well, this could really change something. This could make me more active and productive and make me like, I just want to experience,
Yeah,
like
no, that's the
it
most
changed my
important
life.
part
But you want to know
of anything.
something? After the tour, what happens?
Okay.
After, like, it's
I mean, essentially, you could go back to school if you wanted to.
right, exactly.
Like you can go to school at any point in your life. Like
Yeah.
I remember, oh man, at MSV actually, there was a couple of literal senior citizens.
As the cat starts bugging out.
Yeah, if you guys hear that,
I love them. They're so cute.
Listen. In the Bronx, you are either a cat community or a rat community. I'd rather be a
Oh
cat
my
community.
God.
Listen, I'd rather have stray cats over rats.
that's a fact. I actually got mad cats in my
Anyway.
projects. But like I was saying, I was taking I was taking courses with 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds, and walkers. So cute, man, just taking class. And I'm like, yo, that's mad inspiring, bro, because you got people who in your situation might have taken the other route, and then when that route sort of came to like a decline, you were like, damn, like what now?
Right.
And you have the option to go back, and these people going back at 80, 90 years old, man, and that's so
right there.
inspiring.
Oh my
themselves.
God.
Seriously, because my fault, bro. It's like
Go ahead.
there is some sort of satisfaction that comes with obtaining a degree. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
And it's not to put
Official
it's not
kind
to
of-
put anyone down. You know what I'm saying? But
It's about how you view it.
right, personally, to me, I felt like ahead of a lot of people that I was associating myself with. Literally, once I received that piece of paper, and you could talk all your
Yes,
shit.
yes.
It's a piece of paper, this and that. It doesn't give you money. I don't care, man.
It's the symbolism.
yeah.
And to be honest, it's symbolic of everything that you have learned, to be honest. And so that's something I actually really do want to get into as well. But first, what I want to do is kind of complete my complex, brief explanation as to why I don't believe college is for everyone. However, I do believe everyone should go to college.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so it's a complex answer, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
Right?
to receive some sort of education.
I don't think- right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
If it's
right.
not just go to college, but just learn, you
Right.
know? Like,
And it's because, and at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you exactly why, right? I don't believe college is for everyone, right? Tailored to everyone, right? If you want to get it, by, literally, right?
No education system is tailored to everyone. Anyway. It's
Right,
just not
right,
possible.
absolutely. But the thing is about it. What's beautiful about a liberal arts education, which is something that we all had obtained at Mount St. Vincent, right? Our undergrad. is that we were exposed to things that we otherwise, right? So we were exposed to things out of force, right? Because again, a liberal arts education forces you to sample a lot of different disciplines that otherwise you would not choose if you had the choice, right? For example, I wouldn't have chose a religion class if I had the choice to, but I had to because it was a religious school. However, those had to be one of my favorite fucking classes I've ever had. Zukowski.
Shout out Edward Zukowski.
Shout out to Edward Zukowski. He was. I mean, I loved him so much. I took 2 classes.
Yes, so did I.
A's. We had
genocide, death and genocide.
No. I had an integrated course first with him of genocide. It was a psych and religion course that was the psychology of genocide. Amazing course, right? That was one. That was the first one. I took that with Shannon, right?
Okay.
Right, and then me and Nario had to take in the death course.
What?
Amazing.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of curious about this.
It talked about literally death, like what the body goes through, literally biologically, and during death, after all that type of stuff, and then it talked about spiritually and also like dealing with it. Which also at the time, that was spring semester.
That's crazy.
Of my sophomore year, right? Yes, that was spring semester of my sophomore year. Fall semester of my sophomore year, I lost my boy Edric in a car accident, and a month after that, I lost my grandmother.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
The semester right before that, so that's also a reason why I took the death class, because a part of the class was also dealing with that.
And this guy,
which is crazy.
And this teacher actually wrote. So he's amazing. So he's a theologian, right? Mm-hmm. And him and his wife are both theologians, and they had both written a textbook about death, and it was basically it's called I forgot his wife was on it. It's called Death. I believe it's through the Catholic lens, right? It's something like that.
It was some crazy.
Oh my!
It's actually a required textbook for one of his courses. It's a required textbook for his course, but it was so enjoyable. I mean, like you would read this stuff, and so for example, like he went through different cultures and how they deal with death, right? Mm-hmm. And everything. So I mean, to make a long story short, I wouldn't have taken that class at the end of the day if it wasn't for a liberal arts kind of forcing you to, take some classes. My question to you guys, right? Now we're going to get into a little bit of like the college life. What was your most impactful class that you've had? And for you, Dora, I mean, if you had an impactful class in high school, I would love to hear about that as well.
Right. I mean, I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
Kenneth, start us off with that, bro. I mean, you're actually still taking classes, so you actually have your last you have your last semester coming up. You can possibly take this impactful class coming up, and you don't even know it. But as of now, what would you say? But that's impactful, though. That's what I'm saying. I know my impactful classes were the ones that were, tailored for my major. So, Kenneth, like, as of now, what would you say was your most impactful course throughout your whole college, from Pitt to now?
I would say my most. It's actually 2.
Go ahead.
The first one was my first semester at Pittsburgh. I took a history class. It was called Afro-Latin American History, I think, something like that. Taught by a white guy, ironically, but I think most of those classes were the same. Let me talk about that. But
no identity politics here. That's for another. That's for another episode.
So that class taught me a lot about, I guess you could say, the slave trade as it related to Latin America. And that class was, if you ever want to hear an argument for Dominicans are black or Cubans are black or whatever that shit is, I mean that class is really gonna make you think like, wow, we're a lot closer than we think,
Facts.
And this is gonna sound really stupid, but like that class really taught me that the light skin has really been a bias ever since, literally since we were enslaved. I mean, like,
what do you mean biased?
Biased? The light-skinned people were the people who made children with the slave masters. Like, they were the people who were in the houses. They weren't out in the fields. I mean, they were, they got preferential treatment. I mean, they basically lived.
Things were a lot simpler. Things were a lot simpler back then, and I think people really, reduced it to a lot of the, the physical. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
But I mean, it's funny how people bring that. I think it's a stupid ass argument, but it's just funny how I think there's a little bit of a historical validation there, why people think that way. I didn't know that before I took the class.
I was about to say, that's crazy.
I thought it was just something ridiculous that people said, but it was...
And it's sort of, it's impacted you to the point where it's sort of changed your aspect on life?
I mean, it really just... it really just made me think, like, because I used to just brush that kind of shit off, like, you people are dumb. There's no there's no color bias. Like, are you fucking dumb? And I was really wrong, because even history was proving it right.
That's crazy. Purple. Oh, my fault. You
I think there was another class that he said.
Yeah,
You did. You said 2. My fault, Pop.
So currently I go to Mercy College in Dobbs Ferry.
So wait, you took that in Pitt?
Yeah, I took that in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay, nice. So that was like 4 years ago. You took that shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this other class was called, it was like a technology English class.
Okay.
But we wrote about science fiction and things like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I actually did a paper on Westworld, but
wow,
Nice.
Oh yeah, Westworld. You know, spotty watcher. I mean, I'm a spotty watcher of that. But I mean, whatever episodes I do watch are phenomenal. HBO has been
show, I think one of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
Next to GOT, by the way.
Yeah, no,
that
it's really.
teaser
I think those
was
are top 2.
amazing.
Yeah, guys, please.
Those are top 2 I've ever seen.
Yeah, literally just watched the teaser for Game of Thrones. Like we were like little bitches upstairs in my room, fucking watching this shit.
I
don't know about weed.
We were so excited.
I don't know about weed.
Nigga, you. I'm a little girl when it comes to Game of Thrones, bro. Come on.
All right, guys, I'm gonna watch my first episode tonight.
Yeah, you need to.
Game of Thrones is the wave. But
Anyway, continue.
So the technology class was about technology and how it relates to millennials and young people and things like that. And so we read. You guys ever heard of that movie, The Circle?
No.
It's got Tom Hanks and Emma Roberts, or not Emma Roberts, whatever her name is, the Hermione from Harry Potter. She's in that movie.
Emma Snow.
No, I know. Emma Stone is the other one.
Or something, whatever. But we read the book version of that, and so the movie is actually nothing like the book. And the book is it's like an incredible foreshadowing of what's to come in the future. Mm-hmm. And I feel like what really surprised me about the book was like it had a great impact on me because I just like the similarities I saw in real life. Like I couldn't believe it. It was like we're really heading. It's like. It's just called The Circle. You should just.
The Circle. I will definitely watch it for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Most likely.
Sure.
Yeah, reread the book. It's an amazing book.
Yo, by the way, it was Emma Watson.
Yeah. Literally had to Google that right now. HP, what was the class that really got you? I mean,
my most impactful class.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean,
can I try to answer this for you? I really feel like it was the astronomy class.
Yeah.
Because
no you really could not literally every single time. I mean, okay, so yo, I think you were gonna go exactly where I'm gonna go right now. Yo, so we weren't like complete stoners in college. Like I mean, we were casual smokers, whatever. Fine. But every night, whatever. So we would go down to and we would have these conversations, dude. Every single time we'd go to the smoking shelter, dude. It was an astronomy lecture, and it was so much fun, bro. Like but it was amazing. But it was amazing though that it was one of my favorite molecular biology. So I'm a biology major, right? And so my favorite classes were taught by this professor named Dr. James Fabrizio, which is the same guy who shared a love for astronomy, which also taught
the class.
His class.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
Give your experience on that.
So Fabrizio was crazy. I mean, not crazy in the sense that like so knowledgeable, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And just the way he dished out the knowledge. He was so into his
Passionate,
shit, right?
passionate.
And he made it fun to learn. So I mean, that could have been part of it too with the class, but also another thing is like I've always been interested like in astronomy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So the energy that he brought to everything was just nuts.
Teachers are everything.
Yo, teachers are everything. Absolutely. Because he would come into class and he would be giggling at the excitement. I swear to God, he would be giggling of excitement because he'll be about to explain something and he would just start laughing.
It gets me so happy. It gets me so happy.
That's cool.
I feel me so happy
because
just thinking about it because like it's what it is just to get yourself, people find themselves, in a struggle for motivation. Yeah, I feel like a lot nowadays,
that's a big thing.
And I feel like I'm not trying to shit on city colleges or like CUNYs or anything like that, but I feel like when a lot of people talk to me about it, I feel like they're just not motivated, and I feel like the teachers just view them as like this sort of number. And in a small college, that
it's the stigma that comes with names, like you feel me, like with the certain type of colleges, bro. Like,
right, and it's something.
Because I'm not trying.
Did you feel that way? Because so
I went to CUNY.
So give your little story because you went to Mount St. Vincent.
And then I went to Lehman, and then I went to MSV. But I wanted to let Perk finish.
Oh yeah, no, please.
Before we get into that, because that's something we were also going to mention.
For sure. My bad.
Let's finish the impactful class thing.
Absolutely.
On everybody's end. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was definitely probably astronomy. That, and also, well, impactful in the sense that it was like the most engaged I've ever been in a class, but also in the sense that it was very satisfactory for me because astronomy was actually something I was very interested in at the time and before that, and it was just it was just not something that I could feel like I could get into school wise. Like it didn't interest me. Like it's just something I was like, I don't want to do it like that. Yeah,
but you wanted to learn about it
so much. Like I asked Fabrizio, I was like, yo, can I take more classes on this? Like where can I go to learn? He recommended a bunch of books and stuff.
You know what's crazy is that
to take more classes on it though.
I wanted to take that class with him, and then I couldn't because I needed to take a requirement for a comp.
And this was just an elective, right?
Yeah, that was just an elective. I was like, yo,
school politics are so credit politics are the worst sometimes.
But that's interesting. Astronomy in school.
Astronomy is amazing.
And MSV is like a nursing business comm kind of school. Like there's no type of.
I did not think that even
existed type shit. Yeah. No, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Wait, so what is everybody's sign?
I'm a Leo.
See, astronomy.
And astrology. Yeah, we're not doing that. We all heard HP.
We caps out here though.
We all heard HPs on that, but go ahead, buddy.
Also, too, that and this guy Schmickler.
Oh my God!
The philosophy classes.
Oh yeah.
Especially, I mean,
wait a second. That's mine. Don't steal mine,
bro.
Shit.
Oh damn! All right. Fuck it though. But so basically, you can go right to you.
That's a great professor. Though
he is an amazing professor.
He was great. But also,
Dr.
Joshua
Schmickler.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he
has a
taught
crush on him, by the way.
It was just a regular. What was it? What's the name of the class? It was just an intro to.
It's just intro to philosophy. You either had him
I think I had another class
had
with him, but either way, it was just basic intro to philosophy. But what he chose, the way he taught the class was very interesting, and he really
phenomenal.
He really made me start really looking around and start questioning shit because my whole life, I've naturally questioned things, but I was conditioned by society.
Right.
Same.
So you weren't validated. So your questioning wasn't validated.
No, not even that. It was just like he woke up that person in me. Was like, all right, bro, start fucking asking these questions.
This is right. No.
You know what I'm saying? Start questioning this shit.
This is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing, though. I feel like a lot of us naturally come to these conclusions of like this is where we should be mentally, right? The thing is that society doesn't usually enforce that, or doesn't usually encourage that, right? Thank you for that word. Because I was about to like drop like, society doesn't encourage that, and so it really takes just that one professor, bro. It really just takes that one professor to encourage you about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's amazing, man. I mean,
what for Schmickler, for that
was
class,
it the same
what
class?
was it for you?
For me, you were talking the intro for
philosophy.
So
because I also done thing with him. I took that class also the semester that all that happened with my friend and my grandmother, the other two.
Okay.
So
you took it with the religion.
No, I took that next. We took that next semester.
Got you.
But I took it the same semester.
I
took it the same semester that all that stuff happened, and it was. It helped me a lot too.
Absolutely.
Because it was, you know what I'm saying? Because it's made you, it was a lot of questions about death itself. You feel me? That I was trying to handle. And it was just crazy that the first thing you talk about actually in intro philosophy, I think is death. And then, so I was already talking about death and like in the class. Right. Boom, then this stuff happens. So you feel me? It was just crazy how that whole year went down. But fucking.
It's amazing how just things get put in front of you that, I mean, my thing is that I feel like you should use everything that comes in front of you. I mean, you never let an experience go to waste, right?
Type shit.
But as it goes for Schmickler, as it goes for Schmickler, I mean, this was my intro to philosophy course, and we had some required readings, some of which were Plato's Apologies, right? So,
what was the other one that he started with? I'm wise because Socrates.
But it was the Apology. It was Plato's Apology, and one of the stories was
was
the trial of Socrates. Yeah. And I mean, if you know me, if you ever got into a conversation with me and you talk about my work ethic when it comes to the science field, Socrates comes up almost every single time, and it's because of what. Dude, it really grounded me in the foundation of my my career, really, right? So Socrates, a little short blurb about Socrates, right? He was a man in Athens back in ancient Greece, and he was hated. And he was hated because he questioned everyone. So he would go to like politicians, right? Politicians and priests and people of high position, and he would question them on what they claimed they know, right? And oftentimes he ended up, coming to the conclusion that they really didn't know everything that they claimed to know. Right? And so at the end of the day, and with Socrates himself, he admitted, and
that he didn't know everything.
And what he knew can literally fit on his one hand, right? The number of things that he knew.
Well, also at the time, it was also a time where you could say you know something, and everybody's like, okay, you know it. Like,
right.
It was very gullible. For lack of a better term, a gullible.
Hello, we have not changed.
No, of course not.
We have not changed.
It was much simpler back then, but you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, and the question comes out, how do you know what you don't know? And so those were these types of really philosophical questions that I was faced as an undergrad, and really drew my foundation, because at the end of the day, we really do not know everything that we claim to know. Even as a science major, as in a biology major, everyone has this kind of like high, puts me on a high horse for knowing things about biology and shit like that. But dude, when you really think about it, I don't know these things for sure. These are things that I'm taking up on faith that my textbook is telling me. That my teachers are telling me.
It's not like everything is like
anecdotal.
Everything is almost like a theory, because it's like there's things we've believed to be true for 170 hundreds of years, and then you find out, okay, oh shit. This is not true. You know
right. Well, I mean, if you want to draw the connection between this and astronomy, for example, talk about heliocentrism. Right. Yeah, actually geocentrism. If you already want to,
To be fair, the Greeks knew that we were not a geocentric universe for much longer than.
Listen, I personally taking the Socratic way, and I'm very Socratic in my way of thinking. I don't know that. Right.
No, I'm saying the Greeks figured it out long before.
Again, I don't.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it just took. Obviously, it just took the time. It took the time that it took for a reason. You feel me? Because there was just no certain way to know.
But at the end of the day, the basic theme here is that there are things that we don't know, and we should understand that we don't know certain things, and that's something that I carried with me from that philosophy course, and that really understand that a lot of things that are given to us, you should always question everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And this is something that has really driven my passion for research and really being at the forefront of research, because being, for example, in science, I want to know these things are happening, for myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to tell me. Yeah. And so that's really what I got out of the philosophy course. So that's one of the most impactful courses that I've ever taken. Was that philosophy course.
That's popping, and it's crazy that you just aroused that question. Like you question everything and shit, because I questioned when I went away to Lehman.
Right.
I was questioning yo, is this the right move for me? And I gotta tell you, it wasn't. I didn't have one impactful course in that college.
And why was that? Was it the quality of the courses, or was it just the actual course itself? Like none of the courses fit your passion for learning or something?
Well, by that time, that was my third year of college. So essentially, I was taking courses like strictly for my major, but then I had like these other courses I had to take that were Lehman prerequisites. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to take a writing intensive course and shit, which I had no problem with because I like writing. But I think my most impactful course came in my senior year at MSV when I took TV news.
What? TV news?
TV news. So I had the privilege of working in a newsroom in the studio on campus. I was in front of the camera reporting daily news. I was in my element, my brother, and that's actually what fueled what we're doing right now. This course literally fueled this podcast.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. He gave you the confidence to want to start.
Oh, beyond, man, because my professor, Professor Vincent Fitzgerald, phenomenal guy. Just fucking love this guy, man. He's the man. He interviewed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was a sports journalist. Yeah, he was really out here. And he told me that I have, potential to be great in this field, and I learned so much. And then
Oh God,
chill, not with that. No ASMR channel coming from me. I'm not sitting here eating.
Multiple requests. That was got me,
dude. I think we're obliged after the next one. So I mean, I think we might have to invest.
Here we go. Episode 4. We're just gonna have a bucket of fucking wings and shit.
We're just gonna fucking soap cut the whole. We're gonna soap cut the whole time. Turn you guys on. That fuck all that.
Nah, but yeah. So that's really the course that
fucking
impacted
stir
me.
mac and cheese and shit.
You stupid. Actually, where's my? I threw out my rice. I could have fucking ate some rice right now.
Oh, I'm down for some rice right now.
Nah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say TV news, man. TV news is the most impactful course. It really fueled my passion for communication and to really be the news reporter that I'm going to be. So that's really it, bro. Every time I think about that class, I took it twice. I took TV news, and then I took sports broadcasting, which is the same shit, but just sports.
To be honest, it's funny. We never did this beforehand. We never did this whole kind of platform kind of thing beforehand. But I definitely see where you get that audio presence from. You know what I'm saying? That presentation presence from the voice. How to communicate and to be honest, me not coming from that, and I'm not gonna say I shat on any of the other majors and stuff like that, but I am coming to appreciate now the value of that communications education that you did get from MSV.
I love it.
I can see it coming through. And you guys, you're helping me out with this too because
got you, bro.
God knows we gotta
right. It's a great feeling to know that my degree is actually really impacted me. What's up?
Well, it really inspires me because it makes me feel like taking a course or a class. I feel like it's necessary because it brings something out of you. It brings out your passions, what you really want to do.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like, and this is why I say everyone should go to college and is because maybe you do know your passions, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe you don't know your passions.
I feel like a course will really get that out of you.
Right.
Because
and it's that liberal arts sampling that really brings it out.
Yes and no, bro. Because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do until I took TV news, man. I'm telling you.
But that's my exact point. That's my.
But
exact
that's
point.
not a liberal arts.
No. Liberal arts literally means that. It's not a specified kind of education. So they make you take all these
everything,
random,
Right.
And so you're just sampling a whole bunch of different things. And sometimes you don't realize you love something until you actually take the course. Mm-hmm. And this is why I feel like college should be for everyone. Because to be honest, aside from that, it really gives you a more of a global perspective on the world, right?
I feel like for what you said, maybe you do or you don't know what you want to do. I feel like for that same exact reason, that's why it could and it can't be for. I don't think it is for everyone, but I disagree that everyone should go.
So where do you think you can get that? So where else do you? Okay. So if you don't go to college, right? Okay. How do you feel like you can get that exposure to those? So for example, a death class like that. We were forced to, right? The thing is that do you feel like people on their own devices would have the motivation to actually go through something like that?
You got a response for that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I think it depends on a few things. So I think it depends on what your financials are looking like.
Absolutely, it's a crime.
And
it's basically a crime.
We can get into that.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on your mindset at the time too, right? So I know a lot of people who go to college for a year and they go to college for 2 years, 3 years. They graduate sometimes, right? And they come out not having learned anything, and that's not necessarily because they went to college. It's because of the mindset they approached all their classes with. They were just going through the motions. They weren't taking shit that interested them because they weren't interested in anything. They didn't want to go out and learn new things. Yeah. So that's you need
to have also the right teachers. That's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have an awesome class that and have a shitty teacher.
But it's also it depends. It really just depends mostly, really, on the type of person that you are as an individual. It's like me, I took my liberal arts classes or whatever, and I came in a lot of the topics that they talked about. I came in knowing already because that's the type of stuff that I was into before. Even when I was not.
But you refined that in those classes.
You could say I refined it. It's more like I could Yeah, okay, yeah. You can say I refined it.
Right,
It was
right,
like,
right.
you know, a lot of those topics I, again, knew, I'm not going to say everything about, but I came in having a healthy knowledge of most of the stuff that we talked about in those classes. So I feel like it's not, it depends on you as a person. Like, the sort of perspective that I have, I'm not going to say wasn't deep in my college, but it was not necessary for me because the type of person I am. I like to go out and I like to, you know, see new things, experience new things. See things from another person's perspective. In college, you know, you can be taught to do that, but I came in already wanting to do that.
But this is where I found that philosophy class came in, and you know, college is supposed to be a place where people of different, you know, different everything come together. Right. It should be that way. And I mean, we see that kind of change nowadays.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a big change nowadays, and I'm fortunate to have not gone through that in my college, or not have gone through that kind of sort of single-minded kind of atmosphere, right? We didn't have that at MSV. I thought it was very. I mean, we did have like a common.
No, but not even like, for example, like,
you know,
because when you're talking about like single-minded, is the fact that there was a lot of different ideas floating around.
Right. I mean, I feel like people kind of like, you know, they funnel into a similar kind of track, but at the end,
because like when you're talking about like in a broad, like in a simpler term, like diversity in a sense.
Right.
Because for example, in that philosophy class, right? Before you bring that up, because in that philosophy class, there was like a transgender gay person in there. There was gay people.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yes. There was like a transgender.
There was actually a couple on campus.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
There was a transgender gay
Damn, they were
person.
good.
There was your average like gay person. There was you're saying I was gonna say that. Basically, you get what I'm saying. And there was another word I was gonna use for a different something else. But,
yeah.
But a lot of different type of people. People from there was like people obviously that weren't from the country in that class. Plenty. There was like it was Asians. Yep. There was one person I believe from was it Tobago? I'm not sure.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad.
Yeah.
And there was another person, a Hispanic. I forgot from where they were from, but so yeah, there's a lot of different types of people in that class. So that's I feel like why it was another special class for me. But another thing too, also. Another reason why I say that college isn't for everyone is because the way that people learn. I just know people.
That makes
so
sense.
basically, like where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? Like for the simplest way to, like, long story short, like, you feel me? Like I'm from Harlem. Like I'm from the hood. You feel me? So a lot of people around me, I know it's not that they are dumb or nothing. It's just I know they wouldn't thrive in college. Exactly. Right? It's funny because it's not fast paced, but not even that. Just some people from around me just naturally, it's not that they just don't do well with, in a sense, authority. You know what I'm saying?
I think it also has to do with values. I think it has to do with what they value as well. Because I feel like a lot of what it comes down to is money. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could, but
I wouldn't really say that, bro, because now I'm gonna keep it this way. I'm gonna step in, and then we're gonna go to break after this. I don't come from money. I come from the projects, and I had the privilege to what?
I think that's what it comes to, the goal of having money. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but listen, bro, because you don't grow up with any money, you have nothing but a dream to make money, which is essentially what I have. So I was privileged enough to get financial aid because my father makes pennies, bro.
That wasn't my point. What I was saying, what I was saying, like their motivation to be in college. For money, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, that's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, in my sense, I'm a first generation college student, so it was everything to go to college, bro. And I think a lot of other niggas will think like that had they be raised the right way, and that has nothing to do with their parents not raised, if they were taught the education the right way, like we were saying earlier. And it also depends who they surround themselves with, people. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, but that all plays into the mindset, though. It all plays into the mindset, bro, because look at you, my nigga. You grew up in an environment with niggas like that, but yet nearly half or probably more than half are not in the same place as you, bro.
I feel you, but listen, here's why I say it. Because I was having this conversation with my man the other day. He didn't go to college, right? And he barely graduated high school, right? And it was just because, like, it just wasn't for him. You know what I'm saying? Waking up and go, it just wasn't for him, right? I feel you. So I had a conversation with him the other day, right? Because during this time, but we were both in high school, and I'm on track to graduate. He's, you know what I'm saying, going through his thing. At the time, I was like, this nigga's bugging. He don't want to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like. Now, I had a conversation with him a couple weeks ago, and I was like, yo, bro, I was thinking about this the other day, and I respect you so much. For the simple fact
in a time where everybody around us was like, you gotta go to college, and if you ain't go to college, you was getting looked down on. He had, nigga was man enough, and nigga knew himself well enough to know, yo, I don't want to go to college, and I'm not gonna go to college because niggas is around me is saying you gotta go to college, and I'm gonna be looked down on because I didn't go to college. Because that's another thing. That's another thing, bro. Coming from the hood and shit, niggas start looking down on you for
Facts.
shit.
That's a
and
fact.
bro, there's a couple. I'm gonna say this: out of everybody I grew up with, more niggas didn't go to college than they did go to college, right? And now, for example, now I know a couple dudes back home that didn't go to school, and I'll be chilling with them now. Be back. I just graduated. You feel me? They didn't go to college, and they, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? They doing well. Obviously, they weren't in school, so they had more opportunities to make money and shit while I was in school. But they're not doing bad. And now you can argue long term, right? That's where it all comes in. But at the end of the day.
What does he do now?
What?
What does he do now?
I'm talking about.
Okay.
I brought up his story, but just because I know I have a lot of friends like him.
I got you.
But for example, one of my friends that didn't go to college, I came back like my man drives an M4. Yep, but BMW M4. You feel me? He's chilling. He, you know what I'm saying? Got his own business. You feel me? And he ain't go to college. But another thing is realizing, that dream for money. But maybe a lot of people are ahead of their time. And they're like, yo, you know what? I know my dream, and I don't gotta go about it that way. You feel me? So that's why I wouldn't say it is for everybody. You feel me? But it is. But
that's a fact, bro. That's a fact.
But everybody should consider it, man.
Everybody should definitely consider it. Everybody has their own path. Everybody grows up in different environments. You know what I'm saying? That all takes into account the mindset of thinking that college is for you. Okay, and with all of that being said, we're going to take a quick music break. I want you guys to enjoy this tune. This is called Call Me Up by Chec. Alrighty, guys, we're back, and that was "Call Me Up" by Chec once again, and that was actually a recommended song by my man's HP. Man, I gotta give it to you, Pop.
It was so nice.
Smooth.
That shit's very smooth.
I got a lot of songs in the ball, man. Y'all don't know. Kenneth Hayden, because before he was like, yo, I got bad instrumentals, let me know.
No, that was actually. That was dope. All right, guys, just to give you guys a quick recap, if anyone's joining us, you know what's funny? Every time I say if anyone's joining us, I got people saying, oh, it's a podcast. Like, people listen from the beginning. No, because in the barbershop, when we play it, people be walking in. People get in my car sometimes when I'm like 20 minutes into my podcast.
I stop it and replay all the time. When I do the raw, you know.
Yeah, I think it's pretty relevant. And it gives people more of a dope feel. Like, you're sitting in the car with us, we chilling, man. You feel me? Blast your speakers. So anyway, just to give you a quick recap, we spoke about, we already spoke about HP's response, but we introduced our special guest today, Dora, professional dancer. Okay, and we spoke about how our past relationships that we spoke about in episode 2 sort of related to today's topic, and that was college, and then we opened up with, is college for everyone? We had a bunch of detailed responses saying yes and no, and of course we want you guys to give us a quick input on that. And then, we spoke about basically mindsets and if that is relevant and how that's basically built to give you that belief of college. We spoke about a very impactful course, that sort of altered our mindsets today. And just to get back on that college, I want to talk on the difference between dorming and commuting, because there are a lot of people who didn't have the opportunity to dorm but wanted to. And then there are people who saw the dorm life probably from the wrong perspective and chose not to dorm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they commuted. And there's people who, like Alec here, what we call resumed. So he was a commuter who stood over.
Let's explain that real quick.
Talk about that real quick.
Dude, so I live in the Bronx, right? I'm a Soundview resident, born and raised. And so that's South Bronx, if you guys don't know. And Mount St. Vincent is actually at the upmost part of the Bronx.
Northwest.
It's the most northern part of the Bronx you can probably imagine. 10 bus, which is literally the end of the 10 bus line. Yonkers is literally across the street. It's wild, right? So my ass thought, right, I didn't even fucking check Google Maps when I applied to this school, right? I thought I can commute. Dude, I literally thought I can commute. I was like, oh, it's in the Bronx. Yeah, fuck it, it's in the Bronx. Dude, no. Do you know what? Do you know how long it takes for me to get from my
like
house?
literally like hour 45.
No, 2 hours.
2 hours.
45.
What?
Yeah, 3
What?
bus rides long. It's literally the 39 to the
From first to last.
to the 12 to the 7.
Ugh.
Right? And like two of those bus rides were like, you know, full length bus rides. So I was like, fuck, dude, this is wild. I literally did it for the first week, and I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm a huge whipple head. So luckily I had some really close friends, and I'm so grateful. I mean, I can list just a couple of them now. Like, you know, Gene and you remember Gene and John Bianco, right? Gene Mello and John Bianco were one of my first friends in college. We met at in our orientation, and it was dope. I mean, we hit it off immediately, and it was great because they were roommates, and it was cool. They were roommates, and they agreed to, you know, let me stay with them, and it was really out of the kindness of their heart. I mean, I would do compras here and there, you know, to help them out. Yeah, dude.
I mean, I housed you for a little bit too, man. So I feel you,
dude.
I feel you on that.
It was wild. The first year, it was literally me, you know, staying with other people, and you know, obviously. I'll outstay my welcome every once in a while, because to be honest, no, seriously. I mean, like, think about it. I mean, you know, people want their privacy. People would want to have their own privacy, and to be honest, I had to, you know, what am I going to do? I mean, obviously, you know, I had to grant them that. I had to, you know, respect, and you know, when I need to give one person privacy, there was another person that opened me with, gave me a warm welcome. You know, Ashley Albarracin, you know, Amanda Ortiz, which shout out, congrats to your masters. We just celebrated. Yes. You know, we celebrated that yesterday.
Which I wasn't invited to, Amanda.
Damn.
But yeah, no shade. But you know what it is though. I really just have to shout out. Oh, and Kenny Fernandez. Yeah, dude, all of you guys really, you know, held me down my first year, and I'm forever grateful. I would forever be in your debt for that. But it was really tough. I was working at the same time. I was taking a lot of courses, and so I, you know, in the beginning of the year, I was like, yo, I can't do this. I'm taking fucking biology, chemistry, English, philosophy. You know, I'm taking all these heavy courses. And I had to make this 2 hour, 45 minutes commute. And to be honest, I know other people that did it, but I'm like, yo, if I don't have to do it, why should I have us do it, right? I had these friends that were, you know, holding me down, and I said, fuck it. Let's do it. And it was great. It actually wasn't as good as that, you know, because literally I would be working every night, and I would have to fucking climb through windows and shit to get back inside.
True, yeah, if you weren't not a resident, it was a dub for you to get the building. You couldn't get in the building to finesse it. Dude, that was crazy. That's crazy.
That ass. Dora, you got friends in college? Did you can't really call you resume because, you know, that would be required for students, but like, did you visit? Did you stay? Did you like, damn, I wish I dormed? Like, what was your thought on that? Honestly, as a person who didn't attend college?
I listen, I've heard so many stories. The party life. Yeah. It kind of, I don't know if I would be able to dorm. You know, like, I don't know if I would be able to do it because the stories that I've heard, it kind of scares me. Like, it's a lot. It kind of sounds exhausting. You know, when
it low key was.
No, I mean, it's different in every school. Definitely, that's why you can pick your poison, I guess, with that one. Yeah. But no, it could be exactly how you're saying it. It could be like that.
I mean, to keep it a stack, Ken, you went to Pitt, bro. That's a pretty big school. Tell us about
very different environment.
Tell us about that dorm life.
So I mean, I want to preface this by saying, like, the classes were like 200, 300 people in a classroom. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating when I
You're
say
a
that.
spec.
That's a lot.
It's university.
That alone makes you feel like, I'm not going to say like, it makes you feel like, again, you're just a number. You're just a number in the classroom. But that speaks to how big the campus was. I mean, you would be lucky if you ever saw the same people again.
Wow.
Which can be a good thing.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Like the partying and stuff. I remember when I went to college, for the first time, I was like, I wonder if it's anything like with the movies or anything like. And it was exactly. I mean, like,
dude.
I want to say my second semester after everybody got their their feet wet with the classes and trying to get their schedules
and
together.
they figured out how they could bullshit everything.
Literally,
literally,
the first Tuesday that we came back, like the people who lived across the hall from me, they knocked on our door, like me and my roommate, and they were like, "Yo, you guys want to take shots?" And I'm like, "It's a Tuesday night."
Yes,
I'm with it.
We would do some crazy.
Wow.
Dude, we would do some crazy. What's the craziest? What are the craziest like midweek rituals that you would ever do? I mean, besides smoking.
So I'm gonna keep it a stack. I dormed with HP. I've dormed with Alec.
Yeah.
I've dormed all 4 out of my 5
This
years.
nigga actually resonated with me.
Oh shit!
Like all sophomore year.
I did.
Like,
Not all sophomore year.
Wait a second.
So that was the semester I decided like, yo, fuck Lehman. I want to go back to Mount St. Vincent. Boom. So it was the first semester I resonated with this motherfucker.
Wow.
They had a third mattress. Yo, bro,
It's hard, right? It's hard.
It's so
hard
tough,
resonating, right?
and it's crazy because that was a time where I was not me, man. Like I was in a whole nother headspace. So imagine that, bro. Like, I don't even want to talk about it.
That's a whole nother story.
Facts.
You almost forgot about that old person you are,
for
right?
real,
It's
man.
wild. It's one of the shit that we
You
want.
could
So-
just see in his facial expression.
It's when you think about this shit, like if you forget about it.
It's-
Now, yo,
crazy.
y'all think he's ugly now?
Wait,
Ugly, son.
wait till we get visuals. We're gonna have visuals. We're gonna have visuals soon. Nah, but so this dorm life, I loved everything about it. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I also dorm because, like I said, I had the opportunity to get financial aid, so I could afford it. On top of that, I was a student athlete, so I was a full-time student and a full-time baseball player. Meaning 6 a.m. lifts. I had to lift every day. I had to have practice every day. So, and I was also a catcher. So for me to fucking haul my equipment every goddamn day, commute about 2 hours.
Man, I remember that.
I couldn't do that. I had to dorm. I literally had no choice. And I enjoyed every, not every second. There was pros and cons, but I think dorming really helped me be who I am today. It really grew me into the man that I am. It taught me so many responsibilities.
No, definitely.
Like,
I don't know if you remember my room.
oh, let's not even talk about that fucking
wait,
tornado flew. That's all I did when I would fucking go in.
So after my freshman year of resin muting, I realized I could not do this shit anymore. This was ridiculous. I wanted a place of my own, and I needed a domain for myself. Right? I couldn't feed off of anyone else anymore. Right? So I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take out the loans." Sophomore year, roomed with John Bianco. Right? And I was a fucking slob, dude. These guys would come over to my room, and it's disgusting. But I learned that one of the things I took away from dorming was just to be self-sufficient and and to be neat, because it was just embarrassing. It was
Were
embarrassing.
you the guy with pizza box? I'm not saying this like specific. Like,
Yes, he was.
Were you the
Yes,
guy who would
nigga.
have pizza boxes? Like, were you that type of guy? With
What?
Pizza
Nah, not
boxes under
food.
the
More
bed?
like clothes.
No, my clothes were. my clothes had a life of their own. Like the
Niggas would get
piles,
up and walk.
literally were sentient.
That's not so bad because like I had a roommate who would keep pizza boxes under his bed. He's probably gonna be listening to this too. But he had pizza boxes under his bed. I mean, crushed goldfish.
We lived off.
That's disgusting.
Oh, and the craziest thing of all, you guys are not gonna believe this. This dude, like in the middle of the night, rather than going to the bathroom, would piss in a cup or a Gatorade bottle. But
I'm not gonna lie,
he would leave it on top
Oh
of
my
the
God.
computer or like on top of his desk.
Unopened?
I'm snuffing him. I'm dead ass. What? Nah, I'm snuffing him, bro. You bugging out.
One day someone knocked it over and it got all over his computer.
What?
That's good for him. You just got fucking solo cups of urine just chilling.
No, but that's
Unacceptable, bro.
that is so
bro.
unacceptable.
Real quick, I think nobody's dirtier than my motherfucking boy JT. Bro,
Oh.
yo, one time my man JT, JT, you dirty. I dead ass. I left a cup of coffee, right? This is like I had some milk, throw some milk in that coffee, some milk and some sugar, right?
Love the kid.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
This is sophomore year. He first transferred. Yo, bro,
shade.
I dead ass. I remember this is like their March Madness. I left a fucking cup. I left the coffee in there by mistake, bro. I had to come back to that room like probably a week and a half later, maybe 2 weeks, and
It was still there.
And when I opened it up, the
waiting for you.
mold culture
Oh
in there
my
was
goodness.
fucking nuts, nigga. I was like, bro, what?
That.
My
No,
nigga,
it's kind
what?
of common sense. I've lived with people like that where it's just like you know, if I left it by accident, like. You know, do me the favor, throw it out because it's something that's gonna smell.
Like he just did not.
He didn't give a fuck.
He just did not give a fuck.
He'll literally lay right there next to it and smell
so
it.
Scary. That's another thing that scares me too. Dorming with someone. Like, how do you know if the person you're gonna room with is, you know, a clean person or not a clean person? It is so important because it's your sanctuary. You know, you want to.
Nah, that's
highly important. And there were small rooms too.
That's a fact.
For example, I picked my roommate freshman year going into college. They're like, yo, in the application, they're like, do you know anyone you know?
Yeah, they give you that opportunity.
My other boy Josh, who I grew up with, we chose each other. So freshman year we had each other as roommates. And that was that. So you don't have to have a random roommate. And then every year after that, I had different roommates, but it was people I know. And the last one.
Facts.
Cool.
I mean,
I didn't know that.
Nah, word. I mean, HP will get a little sloppy sometimes. I mean, so would I. But that's just that came with the athlete life.
Would you being sloppy and being like disgusting?
No, yeah, that's a fact.
There's a big difference.
That's a fact.
Like, I had two roommates. One was a neat freak. Shout out Brandon. Complete neat freak, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, not neat freak, but
Was it like annoying neat freak though?
No.
Like...
He was like, this is my side. I'm keeping my side clean.
Yeah.
You guys can do what you want on your side. You know, whatever.
Just don't violate mine.
Right. And then I had Austin, you know, who again, shout out Austin, but you know, he would keep fucking piss on his.
It was Austin.
No.
Copy. I'm about to say, yo.
Austin's, do you know? I mean,
it's two.
Not Austin, you know me.
That's crazy. All right, but now we spoke about college and all that, our regular lives and shit. Niggas know what's up. Niggas pretty much got high every day, did what they had to do though, went to school.
At the end of the day when we had nothing else better to do.
Facts. Nah, yeah, literally
we were
at the end of the day.
productive. We were productive,
yeah,
stoners.
That's a fact.
Productive.
Oh,
but
that's nice.
Words,
Yeah.
because at the end of the
Keep
day,
it
all that
productive.
came first, and we knew what's up. You know what I'm saying? But now I think the main question here is like, was the degree worth it? Because I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like people don't go to college because they believe, yo, oh, that piece of paper don't mean shit. Like, I mean, us five here, 3 of us have degrees. One is working toward, one doesn't have, and out of the 3 that do have degrees, only one is 2 is still going. One is going to school for one.
Right, I'm trying to continue.
One is actually in his field utilizing that degree.
Love it.
I'm subliminally using my degree with this podcast.
No,
and
you're definitely applying it.
I'm applying
you're
it.
Definitely applying it.
Yeah.
Right, but when it comes for income, my degree isn't working right now for me. So
It will. Trust me.
no, it definitely will. So like, was that degree worth it? Is it like for me? Is it really putting you where you want to be at right now?
This is a multi-tiered question. In my
Okay.
opinion,
Well, all right. So I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Yeah.
I don't want brief responses, but I don't want elaborative responses. I want like
No, I can give you a good
impactful
one.
motherfucker.
Yeah, no,
You feel me? Like,
I can give you a good one. So,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, as far as, you know, if a degree is worth it, you have to ask, what does the degree teach you, and what are you going to do afterwards? How can you apply it? You know, when are you going to apply it? Things like that, right? So, for example, and how much does it cost too, right? So, I guess a perfect example is, let's say you are a health science or biology or, you know, some kind of medical major, right? That's non-professional. So something that's like, you're getting taught classes or you're getting taught things that aren't hands-on skills. So biology, as an example, right?
So like theory, you're talking
Yeah,
about?
you're taught theory, right?
Okay.
You do some lab classes and stuff, but nothing that's gonna get you paid, right? So then you now make the jump to PA school or something or medical school, right? So when you get out, you're gonna get paid for that, and that's what you would call a professional degree. So is it worth it in that case? Well, now you have to ask the question: how much did you pay for it?
Well,
did you stay in state? You know, did you take out a bunch of loans for PA school or?
Well, some of those things are prerequisites,
medical
though.
doctor.
I feel like some of those are prerequisites, though. I mean, like, so for example, like a pre-med, right? So for someone that wants to go into the medical field, right? They would take similar classes as someone like someone like me, right? That wants to get into like a research field, right? And sometimes you need those courses. So
Well, I'm
you know,
not
if you
saying
wanted
as
to get
far
into
as like that. I'm saying it's like you would still like you would still have to ask yourself, is it worth going in debt for this, or is it worth my
absolutely.
time, or things like that. So I think that those all play a role. But it's also like, let's say you have like I know a bunch of people like this. They have the opportunity to go to school for free.
Yeah.
They can pick any degree that they want. Like one of my friends, you know, he's probably listening to this too. My friend James, he graduated from Tulane University in 3 years. He's like probably the smartest person I've ever met. In Louisiana.
Yeah. Shout out Stephen Alamace, you know what I'm saying? Went to All Hallows High School, shortstop, currently the Pirates organization. Graduated, he went to Tulane as well. Got drafted out of Tulane.
One of the top prospects, bro, actually. Like last year, too.
He was a from my high school got drafted from the Pirates, too. But he's 2 years younger than me. But,
just because it was Tulane.
And
he went to my high school.
No, I got you. Yeah. But that's, that's another thing. It's like he went there for 3 years, and he got his degree, I think, in psychology or something like that. And he graduated when he was 21 years old, right? So he now had the opportunity to go and conquer the world. I mean, this guy has a degree from a top university. Right. He's debt free essentially. His last 2 years were free, pretty much. Yeah. And his first 2 years didn't cost him that much anyway. So now he can go and do whatever he wants. So you know what he decided to do? He's a teacher in old high school now. He's a full-on teacher.
That's nice. That is nice.
He can go, so for him, was his degree worth it? Kind of doesn't matter. Because his opportunities were,
So could he have gotten to that position without his education?
Without his education?
That's my question.
That's essentially if the degree's worth it, bro.
Right.
Because you could take out all this bread, bro, but if that degree's gonna help you make that bread back, yes, it's worth it. Even if you pay $150K, my nigga, like.
I mean, I think the question comes down to, for example, if you actually came out of there with knowledge, the degree was worth it. But if you came out, that's what I'm just saying. You could say, right, if you came out, you want to be an architect, you know shit about being an architect, and you go to college and actually become a great architect, then the degree was worth it, right? Because you got that knowledge. But now there's a lot of people getting confused because now in a separate situation now, for example, a job could hire you. And they'll teach you everything, but they'll want someone that has a degree. In that sense, the piece of paper was worth it.
So
you know what I'm saying? I think that's the difference right there. You got to figure out for you, is the piece of paper going to be worth it, or is the degree actually going to be worth it? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fields that I feel like nursing and shit like that, and bio and the doctors and stuff like that. I feel like that shit, the degree is worth it.
It's necessary.
But for a lot of things, as far as business and accounting and all that other stuff too, it's the piece of paper could be necessary in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I feel when we talk about worth, right, it has to do with what you value, right? So I mean, we did talk about, for example, the things that we got out of college, right? So for example, things that we got out that we can apply to a career that will generate money, right? I think that's where we're kind of focused on here, right? But there is another aspect to college as well, the wealth of information and the well-rounded
and the
knowledge that you obtain that
knowledge is essentially power,
right? That may not be directly influencing your monetary gain in the future, right? However, how many times were you able to carry out a conversation that using information that you learned in college from a weird elective, right? From the death class. How many times have you applied that? So when you say worth, right. So when I think about worth, I think of not only monetary worth. I think about just wisdom in general, right? But besides that, but back on the original kind of worth that we're talking about, for something that I'm into, right? For biology, right? Being wanting to get into the life of research and industry, it is absolutely necessary. You need to go through these things. You need a BS at least. You need a master's, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't necessarily need a master's depending on the type of industry job, but but I'm trying to shoot for the stars at the moment because I'm young. Dude, every job that I've had, I was the youngest, and it's such a great feeling. I don't know if you've been in that situation, dude. It's amazing to feel that way, dude. It's like, it feels like you're on the right track, and for me, anyone out there that wants to get into the research field, and you guys are, anyone that's passionate about biology and really, wants to get into that, do it. I mean, just do it. I mean, if it's for you, if you really believe it's for you, go for it. I mean, the world is yours.
And I wanted to share this with anyone that's listening, that maybe if you truly feel that college is not for you, maybe it's just not a route, I want you to know with no degree that it's still possible, that you can still make it.
Absolutely.
And whatever that you want to do, because we have the resources, like we have it. We have a computer like right in front of us right now.
Yeah.
And you can research if whatever it is, we have it. And so in the whole artistry perspective, like it takes work. You know what I mean? Like you really have to put yourself out there. And with branding, you have networking, and for me, filming, I want to intern. You know, sometimes you just have to do the work. Like even if it's free work, you know, like you just
experience is everything. Experience is wealth in its own. On its own.
And so it is possible, and it is completely okay if you don't have a degree. Like, and if that's something that you want to do in the future, do in the future. Like, education is so important at the end of the day.
It is.
It is so important.
I know people with degrees that didn't get shit from it. And to be honest, at the end of the day, there's so many resources, like she just said, like YouTube. I mean, anyone that has an Apple phone, there's iTunes University. You can literally take college courses if you want to on anything you want. You might not get a degree out of it, but you will gain that education, you'll gain that wisdom.
And I think if you're going to take those classes, there's a whole structure to whether or not you're gonna have a degree. So like the structure is like the whole reason you need that degree is because jobs want you to have skills. Skills really, I personally believe skills are the only thing that matter as far as you getting a job. Like yes, the piece of paper matters too, but the skills are the things that get you the most meaningful jobs. And so it would be like. Going to iTunes University for something like medical stuff or, if you're a biology major like Alec is, right? At some point, like, there's never going to be, like, that piece of paper really actually is necessary. So you can't replace that. Yeah. But for something like, if you want to be a graphic designer, a video editor, something like that, you don't ever have to go to college and you can learn that stuff maybe on iTunes University. Or if you just want to learn.
Or you get the fucking app and do it yourself.
But as far as getting a job, I mean, the job thing, and I hate it because I hate that this is even true, but you really do need that piece of paper for
it makes sense.
A lot of jobs.
It's your resume. It's like a resume.
Yeah,
essentially it is.
At the end of the day, how do they know that you got that? You know,
right?
CV.
Yeah, CV.
Type shit. Now, do y'all think like online universities should be a thing? Do you think like Phoenix, fucking Southern New Hampshire, Phoenix, Southern? Where the fuck did I even get that from? The Southern New Hampshire University.
No, like ICDC. Wait, what was that? That Little Romeo?
The hour shit. I'm sorry. Like, do y'all think? Do y'all think those shits is low-key equivalent to like going to an actual college?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't. It's definitely not. Because you get something from being in a course and contributing, and college is a hub. It should be a hub for the exchange of ideas
and experience, more above all.
And experience, right? But the thing is, you can't exchange.
It also gets you out the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Facts.
It gets you out the house. I know people that, like, for example, my mother. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful, you guys. Bruni, shout out to you, I love you. She went to school for what is it called? Accounting.
Okay.
And she is phenomenal. Like, she does all this coding stuff. And she works for Citibank. She's been doing it for so many years. But she sits in her house, and she's there. She's just.
So she works,
but is she happy though?
All day. She loves what she does, but it's also like the interaction. I don't know how to explain it. Like
she doesn't get enough exposure outside. You're saying she doesn't like leave the house as much.
Yeah, but
I feel you.
I don't know how to explain it. But that's her job. Like.
Nah, that's what she get money for. I mean, that's what she went to school for and shit. But you're seeing it as, like you're not out there. Like you at home. You're confined to your. You're not confined to your space, but then you gotta look at it this way. She has the luxury of working from home.
No, right, yeah, you're right.
Which is what people argue. I wish I could fucking work from home. But in reality, is that really what you want though? Like,
is that so much a luxury? Because to be honest, I'm not gonna front.
It's not. Nobody wants to do mad fucking work in the comfort of their own home. I want to relax.
Right,
I want to lay down, parlay, watch TV. I don't want to be at a computer desk. Even I can be like in my boxers and shit, mad comfortable, but still like I'm working in my own home.
I need interaction. I think humans are social beings. I feel like as much as we might complain about the commute, I mean, New Yorkers are infamous for complaining about the things, and once we don't have them, then we complain that we don't have them. You know what I'm saying? It's like commuting, for example, like taking the train or like stuff like that. I love my city. As much as we complain about it, we all love our city. And I need that interaction. you know, and you know, I miss working in the city, to be honest, because of all the random shit that I see, you know. I mean, the random shit, I mean, just the people that you interact with, you know. It's
an experience for sure.
And we're so privileged. I mean, we were actually talking about, me and Dora were talking about this earlier, how yeah, it's amazing.
How fortunate, how lucky we are to be born here in New York City.
Much less, okay. First of all, like being born. Second of all, being born in America. Third of all, being born in a coastal region, and fourth of all, being born in New York City.
Right.
New York City is amazing.
We could have been born anywhere in the world, you guys. Guys, I could have been born in Egypt. That's it.
What's wrong?
Anywhere.
That's
No, it's no problem, but it's like we're very lucky. We're very lucky.
It could be, that could be argued, but I'm saying just for anybody. But I agree with you because I feel lucky to be from New York. But I feel like everybody's gonna be like, nigga, fuck that. Like, I'm lucky to be born in fucking Berlin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna have their own thing, but the reason, like, New York is fucking crazy.
It leads us to be
like, for example, the reason I said that, like, I woke up the other day. Walk outside my building. What's going on? The whole block is flooded, and there's a fucking bum naked on top of a truck.
Oh my god! Wait,
that was almost.
He lives by the way. He lives by you. By the way.
I live on 112 in Lennox. I just think I should.
All right, that's down the block. You are down the block, homie.
It's alright.
Yo, I walk out the crib 8 a.m. I'm going to work.
8 a.m.
I look up. This nigga's nuts is out. You feel me? Like, yo, that. You feel me? It was like 20 degrees, and then like, yo, that week was crazy. The week before that,
bro, it was like last week.
I took the train.
He's bold, man.
Yo, he sent that shit to me on Snapchat. Later on that day, I see it on World Star. I'm like, yo, nigga video. I was like, yo, this nigga's video went viral, but it was some other dude.
Dude, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. I would not trade it for. I mean, I was like, yo, listen, imagine we were born in Oklahoma. No shades to Oklahoma, but like, I'm just saying, like,
to Oklahoma, we can be honest about that.
Dude, I mean, like, dude. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to. Yeah. We're privileged, man. And to be honest, and not only just to be in New York. I mean, just to have, you know,
the things that we need,
and the education that we got. And
I was about to say, we're privileged to even go to college, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
everything's a privilege, even if it is a 2-year school. Like, it's still school.
You put yourself
right.
But besides school, just growing up in the city, you tend to grow fast and a lot of other.
Absolutely.
A lot of other shit.
Facts.
Learn so much about yourself, the process, and
Nah, for sure. And, you know, just to end it off, just to wrap it up with the college, you know, like, for anyone out there who either has their degree and doesn't have a job in that, you know, field that you were studying, or you didn't even go to school, like, don't feel no type of way. Don't feel below others. Don't put yourself down, because we got 5 different point of views here. Pretty much we're all similarities, and we're all pretty much doing good for ourselves right now. I would say
exactly.
we're here together today, you know, and I just really want to emphasize that to you guys. And for the people who do have their degrees and are doing shit with them, kudos, and just keep it going. You know what I mean? And don't ever lose that spark, that motivation. Yeah. There's always room for improvement. You can always be better than who and where you are today. Just try to be the best in anything you do, even if it's mopping floors. Seriously.
Right. And if you're finding yourself in that place where you're struggling to decide whether to go to college, or, you know, you just find yourself in just indecision in general about education, you know, I want to hear about it. You know, we want to hear about it.
Yeah.
And maybe we can help you guys, you know, help you out with that. I mean, you know, we've been there, and we've had those thoughts about whether it's worth it or not, and
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I still do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little and it's extremely discouraging too, not getting denied, but just not getting responses to sort of when you want. And like, I'm reasonable, like, I'll email, you know, channels, and I'll give them like 2-3 weeks, but it's like not getting any.
You're talking about jobs, like after college.
Yeah. So pretty much.
So whether we're talking about to get into college or even after college,
and it all rounds up to, was the degree worth it?
Right.
Because that's always the question. You know what I'm saying? And I do get a little discouraged, and I do like, yo, damn, like I feel like, you know, maybe it wasn't worth it, but
maybe that's the chance for you to open up your own sort of window and channel,
and just stay motivated.
Maybe this is it, you know. And that's the thing. If you don't listen, if you don't see a window, if you don't see a door, you make the door.
Facts. Build that shit. Become a carpenter. You feel me?
You know.
Make that shit, Bob the Builder. Nah, but But seriously, guys, you know what I'm saying? This is pretty decent and long episode. We're probably at like an hour.
Dude, this bomb is shit.
We're pretty much like at an hour and 30, hour 40 maybe. I'm not even sure. I don't got the time in front of me, but I know it's been a long time coming. And for those who've been with us since, second zero, you already know we appreciate each and every single one of you. We recently hit 100 followers on our Instagram page. Thank you to all the listeners and the supporters. Honestly, you guys are pretty much why we keep going, as cliche as it sounds. Like, because if we have the following that we have, if we weren't getting the plays, the love, we wouldn't have been doing this shit still. Yeah. But stay tuned. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Dora?
stay tuned. If you have any topics for us, if you have any products that you want us to review.
Facts.
Anything that you just want us to share, like
some promotion.
Yeah, let us know. We are so down to explore with you guys.
Hit us up every week, whatever the topic is. Let us know what y'all think. We do read everything, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, that's a fact.
Yeah. Everything.
And we're all up for the adventure. We're all taking this adventure together. So
absolutely, and don't be afraid.
Guide us.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to hit us on Instagram. Like if any of you have our numbers, I know I've been getting a bunch of text messages, and I'll send a nice screenshot to the group, and niggas will read it.
Also, if y'all want to send me any money, I'll put my cash app.
My cash app is
Amazon wish list.
Type shit.
hashtag my birthday's coming up.
Type shit. Word. But all right, guys. So next episode coming out, next Wednesday. We're gonna talk about jobs. We're gonna talk about just acceptable jobs. What should you look forward for? Like, shit like that. I mean, it don't matter, nigga. Like, just jobs in general. Everything about jobs. It's gonna be interesting.
What we do for a living.
Yeah. How we make our bread. Are we happy doing what we do?
And we're gonna have some pretty interesting guests. We're gonna give some insight on some jobs you might not expect. So
yeah, absolutely.
Really excited about that.
For real. So, all right, guys, we're going to conclude the episode here. And if you want to give our guest tonight a follow, you can follow her on Instagram. If you want to just give out your handle right now.
You guys, my Instagram is at Adoralyn, ADORALYNNN.
3 N's.
So, 3 N's, I had to put that out there. But
okay.
Yo, I love y'all. So thank you for having me. I'm
for
so
sure.
honored. And so
absolutely.
much fun.
Well, appreciate that. And, I don't have to say it, but I'm going to anyway. Follow us at the Checkbox, CHEC, okay, no K. Follow me at CHEC_7. Kenneth at _ in every color. HP, HPenna 730. And my guy Alec with the K at Alec _Sergio, guys. And that's a wrap for episode 3 of the Checkbox. I want you guys to enjoy this nice and mellow tune by FKJ and Masego called Tato, guys.
My favorite song.
Alrighty. Yes. Thanks for staying with us. See you guys next week. Tato to down. Enjoy, guys.
She hit me like that. Saw that thing so beautiful. That she just hit my heart. Oh, that full force and she got me like that. I be like, baby, why you so fine? Got to make you mine. So hard to find. Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, and she ain't even show nothing. She be walking around so confident, so heaven sent. I think she was meant to knock them daylight. Like, girl, you so fine. Girl, you rockin' like, baby, so fine. Miss Baby, girl, you knock 'em dead. She was so sublime, super fine. She was never lying, strutting in the hills or her slides. Either way, eyes on her every single day, week, year. Everyone wondering how she does it with no fear. All that confidence, was it heaven sent? Does it come within? Does it come run out? I don't know. She'll just have them running out and in. Man, they want to sin, talking deadly sin with Mrs. Lady. I don't understand why she hit them like. Girl, you knock 'em dead. How you do the things you do? Baby, you knock 'em dead. I'm already saying. Ooh, it's pretty then.